Self-awareness. Self-awareness. That is what I want us to think about and talk about on today's and this week's episode of Minutes with MinistaMike. Self-awareness. When you hear the word self-awareness, what pops up in your mind? It's a combination of two words. Self-awareness. That is you being aware that you are. You are being aware of yourself. Knowing yourself. That's just a layman meaning. Knowing yourself. So I want you to think about self-awareness for a minute. Do you know yourself? How self-aware are you? One thing I've discovered is the more you know yourself, the less mistakes you will make eventually. Not that you won't make any, not that you won't even make mistakes often, but now you will know why you are making the mistakes you're making. You will be able to direct yourself, you will be able to give yourself instructions, and you will be able to discipline yourself. Why? Because now you know who you are. Now you are self-aware. Another word for self-awareness is analysis of self. Another word is self-knowledge. But let me take the analysis of self for a moment. Have you ever sat down with yourself and took yourself apart as if you're a bunch of data that you want to analyze? Have you ever, for a moment in your life, think about yourself as if you are a string of data that needs to be analyzed? That's what I want you to do this week. Sit down with yourself and analyze who you are. Let me ask you once again, do you know yourself? For real, do you even have a knowledge of who you are? Self-awareness demands that you look within, introspection, that you look within yourself to see what is there, what makes you tick, what makes you think, what makes you breathe, what makes you make the decisions that you are about to make right now. Self-awareness. I want you to pause for a moment and look at yourself. Everything that you think is wrong in your life is at the other side of self-awareness. Most times we make mistakes because we are just responding or just giving ourselves over to stimulus. We are not making decisions by our consciousness. We are not thinking before we do. We are just doing. Then after we've done what we did, we start thinking about why we did it. I don't think that's the way to live an optimal life. I think to live a life that is optimally effective, you need to think before you do. You need to be aware of why you are doing what you're about to do, or you are doing what you're doing right now. Self-awareness. Another word that I want you to associate with self-awareness is introspection. Look within yourself. Then you will know. Look within yourself. That's what I want you to do this week. That's the exercise that I'm giving us this week. Looking within. Are you aware of yourself? I know many of you are aware of your surroundings, of your environment, of what is going on around you and all that, but this is it. That is consciousness. That is consciousness. Being aware of your surroundings, of your environment, it's consciousness. But being aware of yourself is where knowledge of self comes from. And the first thing I want you to do is be curious. Are you even curious about what you are? Are you even curious about who you are? Do you even want to meet you? Yeah, I know many of you complain that you want to meet friends, you want to meet this, you want to meet your parents, you want to meet your children and all that. But I say to you, do you even have that hunger, that longing to meet yourself? And when you eventually meet yourself, will you like who you met? Will you like who you met? I want you to take it as a challenge this week, that I want to know myself. I want to really be self-aware. I want to make decisions based on self-awareness so that I won't be apologizing for who I am. That's what many of us do. We keep saying sorry. We keep apologizing whenever we do one or two things that some people do not agree with. And that might be who you are. I'm not talking about irresponsible. I'm not talking about just being characterless. I'm talking about your core, who you are. So I don't want you to apologize for yourself. I want you to improve yourself, but you cannot improve what you don't know. You cannot improve what you have not, who you have not met. So I want you to go this week deep down within yourself, dig deep and find out who you are. I want you to be self-aware. And finally this week, the concept of self-awareness that I want you to think about is self-examination. Give yourself some questions. Ask yourself some questions. Who are you? What are you? How are you? Ask yourself those questions as if you are examining yourself. Many of yours have done examination, whether you've done it in your primary school or your secondary school, you are doing it right now, doing your master's dissertation or your PhD. Every one of us have gone through examinations, whether it is medical examination, whether it is scholarly examination in schools. We've done examination. I want you to put yourself in a hall of self-examination. Examine yourself. Put yourself under the microscope. Put yourself under a machine, consciousness machine, and examine yourself. That's how you will know what might be wrong with you. That is how also you will know what is right with you. Are you confused about who you are? Put yourself in a test. Self-examine yourself. Go within, introspect, so that you will become self-aware. That's what I want you to think about and talk about this week whenever you hear the word self-awareness. Thank you, and we will talk next week. Bye for now.